Thank you so much for being with us again today. Thanks for coming in from the cold and joining us for the 5th episode of Picnic at the Opera. Woo! We're so glad you're here. I'm Miriam Pico, and I am here with the fabulous Jamie Kramer from WTCM.
Hello, everyone.
And playing along with us, we have pianist David Chown.
We'd just like to welcome all of you here at the City Opera House and those of you watching at home on Up North TV channel 189. We've had a really, really fun and amazing season so far, and today we've got another awesome lineup.
We are so excited. We have the Jeff Haas Trio, accompanied by dancer Meghan Martin Daigh. She's here today too. Then we also have Anne-Marie Oomen. She'll be filling us up with some verse about food.
I always get so hungry during her segment.
I know you do. You need a snack.
Thank you. You guys enjoy. Second half, we're going to have photographer Meggen Watt as she will show us her perspective on Northern Michigan and beyond. Also, poet Catherine Turnbull is joining us. Come on, keep it coming, people. And operatic singer Kaylen Wheeler will be sharing her full range of skills as well.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm gonna
excited.
Oh, me too. I'm gonna get out of the way and let Miriam and David dazzle you.
Well, today just happens to be my grandparents' 65th wedding anniversary. And I call them all the time to sing them some songs that remind me of them during my gigs. And they're doing really well. They're down in Florida, Gainesville, Florida. And I'm really bummed that I can't be there with them for their anniversary. But this one's for them. It's based on a poem that I found in my grandpa's wallet. He was actually showing us all the contents, and there was all these pictures of his grandchildren and his family, and there was this really beautiful one of my grandma in a two-piece bikini in France that we'd never seen before. It was like their secret picture. And among all those pictures, there was this little poem, and it was written by Gregorio Marañón, and he is very, very famous in Spain especially. And he wrote this, and it's called Arriba Corazón, which means lift up heart. And it's been kind of my grandpa's motto, so I translated it to English and put some music to it, and here it is. It's called Lift Up Heart. This one's for you, abuelo. Mwah! Abuelo and abuela, I love you. Lift up heart, because life is short and you must learn to chase your destiny. Lift up heart, moving forward is the only thing that matters ultimately. Leave your pain behind you on the road. Leave your pain behind you on the road. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, everybody. You know him, you love him. Everyone, we got Jeff Haas in the house today. Hi. How are you? Yeah, why not? Say hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. So glad to see you all. What a great crowd. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is. It's a cold one, but we're happy anyway. The sun is shining. Who do you have with you here today?
My longtime colleague of 24 years on the bass, Mr. Jack Dryden. And a new colleague of the last couple of years, Mr. John Driscoll on percussion. And my dance partner, Meghan Martin Daigh. My dance partner from Swing Shift and the Stars. You know, I can dance now.
I know.
Sort of.
Sort of.
I know 4 routines, so I have to find partners who know the exact same routines.
Those exact same ones. Did Meghan teach you those? Was it a collaboration?
She taught me everything I know.
Aw, all right.
A great opportunity for area nonprofits, you know, to raise money. Swing Shift and the Stars in its 7th year now. They've raised over $1 million for area nonprofits. Judy Harrison and the gang.
Did that take place right here as well?
It did.
Yes.
Right down there.
Right down there. Are you a little afraid right now? Do you feel like...
No, I'm actually quite pleased to be not dancing. I became a musician so I wouldn't have to dance, you know? One of the reasons.
Well, where can people catch you besides here at this moment? Where do you perform regularly?
Well, we have a Thursday gig year-round, fall, winter, spring at the Cambria Suites Hotel, which is just east of Denos Museum Center, right on Munson Avenue. Beautiful place, really warm, welcoming room. We have the trio with Randy Marsh on drums, Jack Dryden on bass, and myself, and then we have special guests every week. Usually Laurie Sears is with us every week, and then we have an additional guest. Tomorrow night, Janice Keegan will be with us, along with Chris Bickley, who's subbing for Laurie. And then every other Friday, beginning this Friday, we're at the Inside Out Gallery with a quartet that includes John Driscoll on drums, Patrick Booth on saxophone, and Sam Copperman on bass. And that's all original music of mine and Patrick's, sort of the edgier stuff. So we're having a lot of fun.
Very creative, very inspirational. I love watching you guys.
Thanks. Ditto.
Thanks.
Ditto. So it's been a good year in a lot of respects.
Yes.
You know, our kids are growing up.
We need 2 mics. Your kids are growing. Well, your daughter, how old is she?
Sophie's 13 years old, a teenager. She gets up at 6 every morning to catch the bus at 7, and this morning the first thing we did is watch duets of Beyonce and Ed Sheeran at the Stevie Wonder tribute.
Nice.
I know way more about pop music than I ever expected I would. But I want to do it different than, you know, my dad never allowed us to listen to anything but classical music in the home.
Oh, yes.
So I never tell her to shut her pop music off, even though I want to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Jeff Haas and the trio. We've got Meghan back here. They're going to do a song.
The name of the song? So thank you very much. The name of this tune is Taken, and it's written in tribute to the many folks in our community that we all have known and loved over the years who have succumbed to the disease of addiction. And we've lost them for that as a result. And this was inspired by a woman who was a friend to all of us, who was a vocalist, a director at OTP, a television personality, and we lost her to addiction. So this is called Taken.
All right, thank you. Jeff Haas, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful, thank you. Just ahead, we have Anne-Marie Oomen. She has some fun food and rhythm verse, and you'll get to hear what inspires Meghan's jazzy dancing. You are watching Picnic at the Opera on Up North TV, channel 189. Don't go anywhere.
Anne-Marie Oomen, teacher, writer, and author of the forthcoming book, Love, Sex, and 4-H, which will be launched right here in Traverse City on April 18th at the newly restored historic Barnes Park. I invite you to join me. Today, you'll hear a special poem that I created just for Picnic at the Opera. I'm writing slice of life flash poems as part of a collection based on food or meals that changed my life. And I invite you to participate by thinking about and sharing food or meals that changed your life. For the fifth segment of Picnic Poetry, we also have an amazing guest, Shaw Prize winner Catherine Turnbull, a widely published poet and winner of the Michigan Writers Chapbook Contest for The Chocolatier Speaks of His Wife. That's the name of the book. I'm so pleased she could be here today. This piece is called Black Caps. You can't know what it means to be taken until it happens. Blindfolded and on your knees, sworn to secrecy on pain of death, you bounce along in the bed of your uncle's truck. Then it stops, dust roiling in your hair. You whip off the scarf. They all laugh, the ones who know the patch. After all those miles, you're on the edge of your own homeland, near the old dry well, but a place you've never seen before. At least, never as it is now, laden with thorns and thicket that will make you work hard for this wild blackcap picking. You think you are ready for whatever it is that will happen to you now that you are in their patch. You wade in, basket high, heat, sweat, a sea of brambles. There is the cry of the redwing, and the flies rising, offended and fierce. You must not care. You must move through this moment. This is the last chance of the season, and you have begged, and they have let you in, let you come to their place. Yes, pick all you can, but do not eat. Do not eat. You touch the berries. They fall into your palms. You pick and try not to eat. You fill and fill the slatted box, and then you eat one. Your mouth changes as you stand in the last air of summer. Your fingers stain with rich and flavorful sin, and those folks who brought you laugh at you as they spin away into what? Veils of green? And you feel the night enter your heart, the blue-black song, the dark vanilla berry, singing to, you see it now, the white winter. Singing into the future, the blue jars of contained sweetness all lined up, singing this day, far down the days, singing in a snow-covered night with just a touch of moon, shining into the past, but into the now, and there it is, here it is, time without time, the dark mouth of tomorrow held in your palms, ready to be eaten. You cannot stop yourself.
Anne-Marie Oomen. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. That was beautiful. All right, so we've got poetry, we've got music, we've got dancing, and right now with me I have Meghan Martin Daigh, actually who I know from her day life as a PR professional here in Traverse City. Meghan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So how is it that you got hooked up with Jeff Haas to start doing this?
It was fate. No, I committed to doing Swing Shift in the Stars here in Traverse City, and I was fortunate enough to be paired with Jeff Haas. And so the last several months, we've been glued at the hip and helping to support his charity, Building Bridges with Music. I felt very passionate about the fact that A, I was paired with the Jeff Haas, and B, that I was able to spend so much of my time, commitment, and my passion, my real passion in life, which is dancing, to help his wonderful organization.
So this is an ongoing thing. I mean, this isn't just for today. You guys have been doing this pairing, and you will continue doing this pairing into the future.
That's the plan. We have been, since Swing Shift and a little bit throughout, I've had the opportunity to perform with Jeff and some of his musicians here and there at the Cambria, and then Jeff and I are going to continue to collaborate, which I'm really looking forward to. We're a good duo.
Good duo indeed. And you look beautiful out here, and I think it adds a lot to the musical. It's just wonderful. Now you're about to perform a piece. You wanted to talk a little bit about that. Can you tell us what it is and what it is?
I can. This piece by Jeff Haas is called Awaiting the Arrival. And Jeff wrote this piece when he was waiting for his daughter, Sophie, waiting for her to arrive as a baby. And this piece means a lot to me because of who Sophie is. And she gives me a lot of inspiration. She's a very talented young woman. I see a lot of Sophie in me, or me in her. And so I have Sophie on the mind when I rehearse and work this piece.
All right, well, I will step out of the way. Jeff Haas and Meghan Martin Daigh. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Right, here's one of my favorite parts of the show, and I get to sing with the guests. We're going to do a little song that you might recognize. It's called Fly Me to the Moon. I'm so happy to do it with these guys. It's going to be fun. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, get over here and kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. For these guys, come on. Whoa, oh, oh, fly me to the moon, thank you, and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand, baby. In other words, get over here and kiss me, oh my baby. In other words, I love you. John Driscoll, Jack Dryden, Jeff Haas. Thank you. We'll be back with another one later. Thank you.
Woo, that never, ever, ever gets old. Well, I would like to introduce you for our next segment to a photographer, artist extraordinaire, Meggen Watt, who I just got to recently know backstage. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Okay, so first things first. We were chatting backstage. Sorry, I have hair in my face. We were chatting backstage, and Meggen, I have to mention this because I think it's extraordinary. Tell me what you were in your former life.
Up until about 5 years ago, when I moved to this area, I was working to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons. This was based in Washington, D.C.
Let's give her a hand. Not only is she an incredible photographer, but wow, what a history. And you moved to the area, you absolutely adored it here, and now you are an incredible, wow, this is the first time I'm seeing them in the light, photographer. And I noticed there is one common thread among most of these, and that is water.
Indeed. I find this area nurtures my soul, and so I seek to capture that flavor in my work. And a lot of it is surrounded by water, waterscapes, water on rocks, water on the beach. It's really inspiring to me, and I hope that that is captured in my imagery.
It's all those positive ions just getting ya.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So with photography, how long have you been shooting, and what is it about Northern Michigan? I mean, obviously water, you love water, but that really draws you in compared to any other region or any other place that you've been?
Well, I started taking pictures when I was traveling all over the world as a way to share it with the people back home. And now I'm sharing this area with the rest of the world as much as possible. So this, I don't know, I just find it inspiring.
Absolutely. And where can people see your work if they're interested?
Well, my website, meggenwatt.com. Also, every Monday is Meggen's Monday on the LelandReport.com, which is a long-standing daily blog that I'm honored to be a part of. And a couple of places, Coffee Roasters in Glen Arbor, Trisha's Dishes in Leland, and the Wooden Gallery on Front Street here in Traverse City, each have a few of my pieces.
Wonderful. And your pieces, which we need to kind of look at, I think, in depth, just to give them a little perspective. Those are Leland Blue, right?
Yes. Yes, that is Leland Blue. I picked up all these rocks on one hike on the beach just north of Leland.
Those are beautiful. And down here, that's not a photograph.
Yes.
That's not a photograph.
Yes, I have to mention that Wooden Gallery does a fantastic job right here in Traverse City of creating these presentations. And yes, I actually was moved when I saw it blown up this size.
It's incredible. It looks like a painting. And I hate to shortchange any of these, but we only have so much time. Over in the middle there, the top piece, can you explain that?
That is an underwater remains of a dock on the western side of North Manitou by Crescent City. And I put my really big camera in a water housing, which is what I did with both of these.
And you were like, please, please, please don't break.
Oh, absolutely. And you also never know what you've gotten until you get home and you take your camera out. So it's really exciting.
Absolutely. And the one underneath there?
That's an iceberg. That was our winter last year. That was taken on May 4, just south of Leland.
Stunning, stunning. And the fisherman's boat, that's not here, is that?
That's the Joy out of Leland. And I have had a privilege of getting to know the fishing community, the commercial fishing community along the west coast of Michigan.
You're everywhere.
Well, and I have a very special relationship with the captain of the Joy. He's my husband, and he's in the audience.
Oh, where is he? Where is he? Oh, Joy. And the last photo right there at the end.
That is sunset on Good Harbor Bay. And it was one of my Meggen's Monday shots that I saw this little gull, and I thought, okay, let's try the roaring surf and everything. Just has a little bit of everything we like.
Absolutely. And I think you've captured Northern Michigan beautifully. It's stunning, Meggen, and much success to you in your new life here in Northern Michigan. And if you would like to catch any of Meggen's art, any of her pieces, it will be here at the City Opera House for the month of February probably into March at this point.
I think so, certainly during February.
Absolutely. And if people would like to learn more about you or contact you for any reason?
Yeah, meggenwatt.com. I'm on my website checking it all the time.
And that's Watt, W-A-T-T? All right, excellent. Thank you so much, everyone. Meggen Watt, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Nice,
Hello, thank you.
All right, everyone, don't go anywhere. Coming right up, I'm going to team up with the Jeff Haas Trio again. Plus, we will introduce you to a young local singer who's going to show us her full range. It's going to be amazing. You are watching Picnic at the Opera on Up North TV, channel 189. Don't go anywhere.
I left my home in New York City and traveled down to New Orleans.
Tonight we're going to explore the question, do we get the leaders we deserve? Is film influencing our culture, or is it the other way around? What is it about humankind's fascination with the cosmos? It's the boundaries of personal freedom.
In democratic societies like ours, you have to get people to do what you want them to do, but they have to feel like they're doing it because they chose to do so.
Welcome to Women of an Uncertain Age.
Nancy, what are we making today?
Especially as you age, to love your aging self, because you don't see that on the cover of magazines or in all the glamorous ads.
So I do not suffer from writer's block. Just keep repeating it. It will happen.
She never wants to have a big party. She wants to have a party for one, which is when she takes off her bra, gets her library book, pours some Inglenook over ice.
It really is like inviting people into your home. I mean, Fanny and Louis lived with my husband and me for 5 years.
Go out there and buy some books.
Oh, I'm jumping out of my skin 'cause I can see you again.
Here are two poems in which people sort of talk about food. The speaker of the first poem, I want you to imagine a stout, slightly elderly Greek woman who calls people she loves honeymo, and who happens to share my own dislike of the name that goes with a very popular weight loss program. This poem is called Olympia Speaks of Weight Watchers. What are they asking you to watch? Your gut, your plate, your shoeless feet on the scale? Better to look up, honeymo. Look busy. Look back even. Isn't there someone you love in that silhouette you're starving? You say you have fat arms, but they're your mother's, who taught you to read and sings to your children in 2 languages. Arms like that hold the world entire. At that meeting, they'll tell you food is not love. But honeymo, you've nursed a baby. You know that's just dumb. Why do you think they call it latching on? More? This is the title poem of a chapbook that was published by Michigan Writers Cooperative Press in 2008. It's called The Chocolatier Speaks of His Wife. Certain women come in here, ticking downtown on their bright, skinny shoes, diets and money on their faces. Ermine women, the city's fur coat. Behind the counter, my wife stands up on big legs. She dips cherries, swirls the tops of soft nougats. The ermine women say they're impressed, but her raucous cheeks frighten them. They think it's too bad what my wife does. Temptation, as if fingers were meant for pushing things away. When we're alone, I put my warm hands on her. She smells of vanilla and butter. I kiss my wife as often as I can. Affection goes to her hips like fudge.
Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping and that cotton is
and you're most good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your little wings, take to the sky. But until that morning, nothing's gonna harm you. With your mama and daddy, we're standing by. Oh. I could get used to this. I like it. Yes, yes. Summertime and the living's easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your daddy's rich and your mom's good looking. Oh, hush, little baby, don't you cry. Rise up singing, then you'll spread your little wings and you'll take to the sky. Whoa, but until the morning, nothing's gonna harm you. With mama and daddy standing by, you know your mama and daddy, we're standing by. Your mama and daddy, we're standing by. Summertime, I love it. Jeff Haas, David Chown, John Driscoll.
I don't know how chairs didn't go flying and you all weren't just dancing out here, because I was just about to cut a rug. Speaking of cutting rugs, the music's not ending. I have Kaylen Wheeler with me. We're going to take it to a little different genre, I would say. Kaylen is a opera singer here at NMC, and Kaylen, welcome.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Well, we're so glad to have you. Kaylen, you are a young lady. Do you mind if I ask? You're never supposed to ask a woman how old she is, but you're a young lady. How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
20 years old, everyone, and she sings opera. That alone gets a round of applause. So, Kaylen, you didn't necessarily, well, you don't come from this area. Where are you from exactly?
I'm originally from Muskegon, downstate, Muskegon, Michigan.
And you ended up here not necessarily to start singing opera, but what did you want to begin to do?
The audio tech program.
Oh, they're here today.
Yes, and I went back to my musical roots.
Yes, you did. So you were like, ooh, practical. And then you're like, nah, I have a dream, a big dream.
Yes, a very big dream.
How did you find your way into the opera world? Because like for me, I would never go, oh, opera, yeah.
Originally, my roots were gospel, but in elementary school, I did my first chamber group, and then high school, and then college singing with the NMC Chamber Singers.
And sing you do, young lady. You are a beautiful singer. And today you're going to switch it up a little. It's not your traditional opera song. What are you singing?
It's going to be a spiritual, but you'll see a mix of both of them. It's a classical arrangement of a spiritual.
Beautiful. Well, Kaylen Wheeler, ladies and gentlemen, and enjoy. I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Kaylen Wheeler, David Chown. It's been a pleasure sharing this noon hour with you. Pleasure sharing the stage with so many talented folks. We have one more tune for you before we wrap up our portion of the picnic at the opera. But before we get started, I want to remind you that we represent Building Bridges with Music, an area nonprofit that takes a multicultural band into schools throughout the state and uses music as a means of opening the door to discussion about diversity issues, about the importance of treating one another with respect, understanding, kindness, promoting peace, and thereby addressing the root causes of bullying, prejudice, hatred, and violence. We've been in over 600 schools in the past 15 years. Thank you. And want to encourage you to go to our website or our Facebook page, buildingbridgeswithmusic.org or facebook.com/buildingbridgeswithmusic, and check out what it is we do. And if you're interested in volunteering or supporting our cause, please do give our executive director a call, Ms. Karen McCrary. This is a tune that was a part of a suite that was commissioned by the city of Detroit back in the year 2000 for the 300th anniversary of the city. The suite is called Motown Mosaic. This is called The Age of Confluence. Once again, Mr. Jack Dryden, Mr. John Driscoll, and Ms. Meghan Martin Daigh.
Hello, gosh, it's hard to follow that up, don't you think? That was amazing. Let's give them another round of applause. All right, well, first of all, I should introduce the people I'm standing next to. It'd be rude not to. Tom Paulson, the new City Opera House Development Director. Everyone, big round of applause. I like clapping. Also, Matt Cowell from the LEA Program Coordinator, also from Up North Media, or Up North TV, as you also know it as. We wanted to, tell you specifically, you guys all got to enjoy this wonderful program today, and that is because the City Opera House is here for you, and it provides so much in the way of culture and entertainment to downtown Traverse City. And Tom, I just want to know, you have this amazing program going on called Keep the Arts at Heart. What exactly is that, and why is the City Opera House so pivotal to Traverse City?
The arts need a venue. And this is one of many venues, a great venue in Traverse City where the arts can be performed, as you've seen today. And I thought of Miriam's song that she sang at the beginning for her grandparents, Lift Up Heart. And when we support the arts, the City Opera House, this venue, and arts in our community, we are lifting up this community in so many important ways. And one great way to do that, one way to sustain this great venue that first opened its doors in 1892 and has been magnificently restored, and it's a very active venue. 150 events happen here in the community every year. But one way that you can support it is you see these buckets on the table, you can leave your contribution there, or even better, you could go to cityoperahouse.org and click in. You might set up automatic monthly gifts or just sustain this venue here in Traverse City.
Thank you, Tom. And without the City Opera House, this event wouldn't be possible. And this is a wonderful collaboration of two nonprofits in town. Matt, can you talk about what it means to have collaborations like this within the community and what it means to other organizations?
Absolutely. One of my favorite things about the Picnic at the Opera is that it's artists coming together to practice their craft, to show other artists coming together to practice their craft. It's a very, very cool combination. These wonderful volunteers who have come to the Up North Media Center, learned how to do audio and video and stage direction and all the interesting things that go into putting on a performance like this, and then showing off the incredible amount of talent that we have here in this region that we're blessed with to enjoy in such a beautiful setting as City Opera House. So it's wins all around, and it's a tremendous amount of fun. And I just think it's a great example of what arts in the community really means.
Absolutely, and what a variety, it's a variety show, but a variety that you got today, unlike probably any other. And did you know, I mean, it's amazing to me that they're all from Northern Michigan, and then we can have it here. And without this venue, you guys, we can't do this. We wouldn't be able to do this. And I know the big push was last year to keep the arts at heart, and everybody heard it all the time. And I need you to really help out. If you guys all see those little baskets, please give, and give generously today, as if you think of into the future, into next year or the following year. If we can keep doing this and keep this here, it would be amazing. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Matt. And thank all of you. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's our show. Thank you so much. We'd like to thank you for being with us today here in our studio audience. Thank you to the Jeff Haas Trio, Jack Dryden, John Driscoll, Meghan Martin Daigh, photographer Meggen Watt, Anne-Marie Oomen, and Catherine Turnbull. And thank you to Kaylen Wheeler.
And a big thank you to Pangea's Pizza for providing the pizza and your wonderful volunteers, well, to feed all of them. Relish for keeping Miss Miriam so well dressed. WTCM Radio, thank you for me and a job.
Thank you, Latronics. Thank you, NMC's Audio Tech Department. Thank you to the Watershed Grand Traverse Bay for providing the artists every week. And
thank you, Huntington Bay. Woo! Can't do it without you.
None of this would be possible without all the wonderful volunteers from Up North TV and the City Opera House. Thank you so, so, so much.
And thank you,
that's our show.
Up North TV channel 189. Or you can go online and check them out. Stream us live at upnorthmedia.org.
Have a wonderful day, everybody. Stay warm, Northern Michigan. We'll see you next week, I hope. It's our last one. Come on back. One more time for all these guys, come on.